Have you ever seen someone on screen who seemed to hide absolutely nothing? Like their eyes, their voice, their secrets, everything was right there? That was Anne Baxter. She could play a heartbreaker, a villain, or a shy girl, and somehow make each one feel real. But what shocked many people was not just her acting. It was how far she would go for a role. Sometimes she left very little to the imagination. Let us go back in time, because this story is full of moments that might just make you say, wait, she really did that. And Baxter was born in the year 1923. Her life was not average, not even close. She was the granddaughter of Frank Lloyd Wright, one of the most famous architects in the world. That is right, creativity ran in her family. She grew up surrounded by art, stories, and people with big ideas. At just 11 years old, and saw a stage play that made her say, I want to be an actress. And once she decided, nothing could stop her. At 16, and was already in Hollywood. Most girls her age were still in school. She was screen testing for Gone with the Wind. She did not get the part, but people noticed her. Then came roles in big films. She worked with legends like Orson Welles and Alfred Hitchcock. But it was in the year 1946, when she played Sophie in The Razor's Edge, that everything changed. Anne's performance was so powerful, she won an Academy Award. Not bad for someone barely in her 20s. But that was not the only time she would leave people speechless. In the year 1950, Anne took on a role that would make her unforgettable. Eve Harrington, sweet on the outside, dangerous on the inside. This role in All About Eve was not just acting. It was almost like Anne became someone else. People in Hollywood started whispering, is she really that bold in real life? Because on screen, she was not afraid to push the line. And off screen, that is where the story gets even more surprising. And was not just another Hollywood starlet. She had a bold style. She wore clothes that caught attention. She spoke her mind in interviews. She chose roles that other actresses turned down because they were too risky. One of her most daring roles was in The Blue Gardenia, where she played a woman caught in a murder mystery. The emotions she showed were not just acted, they felt real. Pain, fear, attraction. In another film, The Ten Commandments, she played Nefertiti. Her costumes in that movie, people still talk about them. She walked on screen like a queen, strong, proud, and yes, very revealing for the time. Some people were shocked. Others were impressed. But no one looked away. But here is what most fans did not know, and was not doing all of this to get attention. She was doing it because she believed every story needed to be told honestly. If that meant showing a side of herself others were too scared to show, she did it. One time during a rehearsal, she refused to use a stunt double for a scene that required falling into water, even though it was freezing cold. Why? She said, if I do not do it, it will not feel real. As she grew older and did not stop working, while other stars faded away, she kept acting in movies, television shows, and even theater. She did not chase fame. She chased the truth in every role. But there is one more twist to her story. In her later years, Anne moved to a small town in New Mexico. No Hollywood lights, no red carpets, just peace, art, and writing. She wanted something quiet after decades of being watched. Even then, she did not fully leave the stage. She kept writing stories. Some are funny, some are full of pain. All were full of heart. And Baxter passed away in the year 1985, but her movies are still here. Her characters still speak. Her risks still feel bold. She was not perfect. She had moments where critics were harsh, but she never let that stop her. She left behind something more than fame. She left behind a truth. If you want to be remembered, do not be afraid to show who you really are, even when it shocks people. That is what Anne Baxter did. And that is why even now, people still gasp when they see her on screen. So next time you watch an old movie and a woman walks in like she owns the room, look closer. It might just be Anne Baxter, and she is not hiding a thing.